Hello, community. It's been a long time since I've been able to talk to you. I was in YouTube jail. That's right, YouTube jail. A man in my city on New Year's Eve got his leg ripped off while standing near his motorcycle. A drunk driver hit him, which severed his leg. All of this was captured on video. Let's keep him in our prayers. All right, let's get to our story. Welcome to Story Time, and thank you for joining. This episode is titled, My Daddy's Dirty Cousin. My father was a mechanic and had a shop in the back of our home. People, mostly men, would either come to get their cars repaired or just to drink and hang out. My daddy's shop was a man cave before a man cave became a thing. At times, there would be 5 or more men back there, chopping it up as if they were in a barber shop, talking about God knows what. The wintertime didn't stop them from coming by. They would simply create a fire in a barrel and huddle around it. My dad's shop was built by his nephew Sammy by hand. Sammy was a carpenter. Although my dad was Sammy's uncle, they were very close in age and grew up together. Like my mother and her children, my grandmother and her children were having babies at the same time. The shop was big enough to store a car in it. It had electricity, 2 big doors, and a refrigerator. The only thing my daddy did not have at that shop was a bathroom. He would have to come inside for that. And sometimes he didn't even do that. He would spend hours back there in the shop, his friends coming and going. My dad's cousin Cleofus visited my dad at the shop often. Cleofus was my dad's favorite cousin. They grew up together, picked cotton together, and ran wild on the family homestead together. It was customary for my dad to make several trips to the auto parts store. Usually, if men were in the back and the girls were playing in the backyard, the girls would have to go inside until my dad got back. Cleofus stopped by for a visit. My dad had to go to the parts store. Cleofus said he would stay. The girls were playing in the yard. 2 of my sisters and a cousin were left in the yard playing while my mother was inside. The backyard was large enough that if you looked out the back window, you couldn't see what was going on at the shop. The backyard had a tall privacy fence so that neighbors couldn't see inside. My dad put up a big privacy fence because he didn't want to be bothered with the local code enforcement. My dad went about his way to the parts store, leaving his first cousin, the girl's second cousin, alone in the backyard. As soon as my dad was gone, Cleofus approached the girls, who were about 7, 8, and 9, and asked, "Y'all want to make some money?" The girls, in their innocent voices, said yes, while shaking their heads in agreement. He told the girls to go inside the house and put some Vaseline in their private part, and not to say anything to anybody, not even my mama. The girls thought this was strange, but this was their older cousin, and of course they wanted to make some money. The girls said okay, but they wanted the money first so that they could go put it inside the house. Cleofus agreed and gave them $1 each. Once they had the money in hand, the girls took off running, screaming and hollering, calling for my mother. Cleofus got out of there. He knew what was about to happen. Once my dad got back, my mother told my dad what the girls told her. My dad was furious, but more so, he was hurt. My dad is a big guy, big hands, big feet, and he had guns. This was the same man that I watched single-handedly turn over a large chest heavy enough for 2 men to move so that he could get his gun when an intruder broke into our home. He went looking for his cousin, and once he found him, he put a beating on him. My dad was so hurt because of all of this. It was the first time my mother ever saw him cry. Needless to say, Cleofus wasn't welcome back to the home, and the family shunned him. Decades later, it came out that Cleofus was sexually abusing his own children. All of this happened before the creation of CPS and children's rights groups. The family had decided not to call the police, not knowing that he was abusing his own children, because they felt sorry for his wife who wasn't working, and they had 7 children. He was the sole provider. Foolishly, the beatdown wasn't enough. If you are listening to this story, watch your children, even around your own family members. Talk to them about sexual abuse. That intervention just might save them from years of heartache and pain. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.